bit of Silas onto Nocturne action, but I think the Nocturne is one of those VCS picks I'm really worried about heading into international play, because I just feel like it's not really that great, and only VCS plays it as a jungler at least. But let's see, Levi has found some success on the Nocturne. Nocturne together with Galio and Camille. It's the classic Team Secret engage comp from 2 years ago. Let's see if GAM can actually channel their inner secrets and kill Team Secret with the secret comp.
Yeah, I like the theory on Nocturne that if you know or feel you're not going to be putting out that early pressure, go a farming jungler. There are better choices than Nocturne, though. That's where I don't like the Nocturne. But yeah, they're just they're going back to basics for the VCS with the Camille, Nocturne, Galio triple threat. Going to just jump on top of Eddie and delete him. But in a way, I kind of think Team Secret's composition, though kind of bad into Galio in isolation, undercuts what GAM wants to do, because Galio cannot join in with Camille and still protect Zeri from the double assassins of the Silas and the Akali, who are just going to be trying to jump on top of her, because if Galio's sitting there with his taunt ready, you can't jump on it. And so it's sort of a choice from GAM. If they get ahead and they can just keep engaging at will, that's going to be great for them and do a really nice early game, but they're going to have to move away from that, throw the double globals at a target as they progress into team fights.
The really fun thing about these two compositions is actually, if you look at Team Secret's comp, with all the assassins and all the individual agency of their top side, this looks like a GAM composition from earlier this year or even last year. GAM always liked to play these assassin-heavy comps where every single champion could win the game. They didn't really rely on team fight setups. They didn't really go for diligent front to back. One of the reasons they lost to Cerberus and Flash was they always liked to go back to these compositions. And this is exactly what Team Secret's comp is about. They don't really like to play together. Artifact wants to come from one flank, Hero from the other, then Penguin does some crazy stuff, and Eddie basically just sits there and cries because everyone jumps on him. But that's fine. So I'm super intrigued by these two teams clashing with the opposite team's style. And I think it will come down to which team can assassinate the enemy AD carry early in the fight. And if style dies early, I think Team Secret has better follow-up damage on their solo laners. So if they're able to trade ADC for ADC, and then Akali and Silas are alive against Camille and Galio, I think Akali Silas wins. So this is one of those drafts that is really hard to predict. I think it's easier to play for GAM, but if Secret is able to play this correctly, they could really shock GAM here in this game.
I really like the little skips and moves from Penguins there to be up and take that first grab, knowing that Levi is going to just try and power farm. So it kind of upsets Levi's game plan a little bit and lets Penguin sort of catch up and stay on top of it. But Gabo just sort of being hyper aggressive, trying to go for this dirty farm. There's not much an Akali and Elysian can do at this stage, especially with the level disadvantages. So yeah, they're going to get away with it and delay Penguin a little bit and make Hero's life a little bit more difficult under tower.
I mean, to be honest, dirty farming into Akali doesn't really yield that much because the Akali is pretty fine doing it. Hero didn't actually have the greatest success last sitting under tower, which is a little disappointing because Akali has a lot of tools in her arsenal to get those last hits.
It's true.
May have lost your way.
We did lose your way. I thought that was an I'm stopping talking because I expect my play-by-play to be talking, but I was really confused for a second there. But no, we have lost our your way. Bring back my your way. I missed my your way.
Yeah, well, Dragon is going to start to spawn. There's good control over the bot side, but they need to reset on the mana, so that's going to sit there for a little bit. Levi's just going to keep farming, keep making his way through. Very happy getting not really a lead. He got lost out on both Scuttle Crabs. So right now, Penguin is actually going to be, a little bit ahead on the basis of has camps up to take. But good push from Gar. I'm going to try and do as much to crash this wave, not let Suhao pull the wave away from Tal 480. And the game just feels very, very quiet, and I think it's going to stay that way until level 6 starts to come through, and the Rift Herald in particular. But we are now finally hitting 6 on Cardi. Kiaya should be very soon, though he did lose a little bit of experience to Levi on that wave, so might be a little bit of time before they can really just jump on the kill hero button.
Yeah, I mean, Hero is a hard target as well, even with the Hextech Ultimatum, can buy so much time in the W in that smoke.
Not just leeching more from Kiaya.
I don't know if he was quite in XP range there.
Yeah, he was. He hit level 6 in the brush.
Oh, there you go. Oh,
You can see that. He's ahead of Kiaya.
Hey, Nocturne getting level 6 is nothing to scoff at. He's setting up around the mid lane at the moment. He's not going to pull the trigger on anything, but who is moving with him? Carty there as well. In the end, it's just Team Secret getting Dragon. GAM, I think they had big plans, but nothing really happened.
And just too much leashed from Kiaya, in my opinion. They just couldn't get that lockdown to come through that they really need to start something up. And with all this pressure on the bot side from the Lucian Nami into the Zeri, just that's a free dragon, and that's going to give them a little bit of an edge, perhaps, as this Rift Herald starts to spawn. But this time the combos are all in place. I just need to see the supports make their moves. So here is Levi looking for something in the bot lane.
So,
yeah, has that
unfortunately, I have no idea what happened in this early game now, but...
Team Secret got a dragon, that's about it.
Okay, that's a good start, though. They didn't get a dragon the whole... I guess they get one dragon at the end, but I always think it's super crucial to get the first dragon against GAM, because they like to play around dragons so much. Highest dragon percentage, as we have a little bit of Lucian Army action. Not the greatest angle from Eddie. I think he could have tried to angle a little bit more down the lane. As Levi's, he is level 6, and here we go.
Oh,
yeah, they're going to move in immediately onto the Paranoia, and they get the instant first blood. Zhu Hao has absolutely no chance.
They had very little to help set that up for Levi, but Beeb lands the flash handshake. He's just too good on this pick. Gets the pick on his Zhu Hao, and this means that, yeah, that's the first Paranoia used. It's gonna start the Nocturne rolling. Might delay their pressure and presence on this Rift Herald a little bit. That can give Penguin a bit of time, so it will overall be a trade, and it's a good win for the side of GAM, but Team Secret not too unhappy.
Yeah, it's honestly not too bad for Secret. They just lose one kill on the support with a lot of investment on the side of GAM. They spent a lot of time to set this up. They are going to get both early objectives just for a kill on Nami. That doesn't even lead to any platings lost or anything. Plus, they got the first ultimate out of Levi. So I think Secret is actually pretty happy with the situation. If you look at the gold, equalized now with the 300 gold picked up. And if you think about the two junglers, 400 gold for First Blood, 300 gold for the first Rift Herald. So that's an even trade, even individually, between those two junglers. Secret kind of got away with that early Nocturne ultimate. This is one of the issues where Nocturne sees. He just is not really able to accelerate that
Second
much.
global used for nothing.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it looks like the Shroud cancelled the Hextech Ultimatum. If that's even an interaction, it must be, because otherwise, why would you not?
I don't think it is. As they will go again. Maybe that's why you don't, because you use it on round 2, and this should be GAM finding Hero. They do, with Kiai having to use a flash. Not ideal, but we'll get some plates. So GAM do manage to extend their lead.
Yeah, Team Secret playing a little bit with the brains off in this game, it feels like. But they haven't fallen too far behind. They need to be careful, though, because now Kiaya is accelerating. We saw a little bit of the scary Camille top lane in the first game. Didn't really lead to much because they team fought too much. But Carty spent so much time now. They actually invested a lot of his time from the mid lane to kill Hero here, which should have resulted in something, but on the other side, Artifact was on a reset and actually wandered into top lane for no reason, so Artifact didn't really get anything out of this roam from Carty, and we see just an advantage now in the solo lanes for the side of GAM.
Trading coming out, though, from Artifact there. Yeah, just good moves from Carty to try and make something happen. Here's that Rift Herald from earlier that's going to do quite well, unless GAM can make something happen, but they don't have CC. And Oh,
No!
so close.
Oh, that's a heartbreaker. Oh my god, I feel so bad for Eddie. He had almost the same situation in game one. This time it was actually warranted to flash in there. He just needed one auto attack, but he flashed exactly into that slow moving ultimate from B. Oh, that's such a heartbreaker as Hero gets. Oh, that was a really nice escape there. Hero soaks a lot of pressure with that one. That actually just makes it a winning play for the side of Secret. They should be able to get a plating in mid as well, as we have a ping. Oh no.
Oh,
Unfortunately, we have a pause.
yeah,
We do have a
just,
replay before we go, though.
and just B takes a lot of damage, but it felt like out of nowhere. And just, yeah, there's the burst from the Lucian, takes him down to so low, and then just wants to flash over, but gets the hitbox wrong. Everyone walks
really
away,
hard
but
to flash
oh
over
man,
that hit. The hitbox is, I think, like pixels smaller than a max range flash.
It's very wide. Yeah, you saw he actually flashed over the tide of the wave. I don't know how to phrase it, but like the big part of the
yeah,
wave was already past him, but he was still caught by the second half of the ultimate. So it's really, really hard to flash over that. I feel so bad for him though. I even think if you, yeah, I don't quite know how it's coded, but if you lock in the auto attack while flashing, I think he probably gets it off anyway.
maybe.
Maybe.
Something hard to really say anyway. But overall, it's a good move from to break the Rift Herald. It doesn't get them the whole tower, but it's lots of money onto this Lucian who is voluntarily onto the Scale Force and ready to start looking for those big dirty chunks that can remove someone from the map and give the pressure that they need. But right now it's GAM with the advantage over this river and the second dragon.
Yeah, and I think it's wise for Secret not to interact with this dragon. Both of these teams have shown a little bit of restraint when it comes to objective contests. It's not SGB. SGB would always fight for these. These two teams are more looking at maybe the LCK side of things, where you try to cross-map instead of contesting. Oh, I say that, but Secret actually fancying something here. Eddie has no flash, and the enemy team is Camille, Nocturne, Galio engaged, so I like that they end up not going for this. Also, Artifact level 10, you really want to fight around level 11 with this Silas, so instead they just give up the second Drake. I think that's fine. Secret slowing down the game pace and hitting their first items, even though they're 0-2 down in kills. Secret still sitting pretty in this game.
He just wanted to poke his head in, pick up that hostile takeover, which could be very effective if you can make the use of it.
Oh, they engage, but there was a Nocturne hiding in the shadows. Gets bailed out. Can they reset him? No. Levi will go down. Excellent absorption of pressure there by Team Secret.
Beautiful counter gank by Penguin. He knew what was coming. This is such a cool little meta we've seen develop in the bot lane. Who's gonna move first? Who's gonna move second? We've seen so many dives and so many ganks on bot lane. This time Penguin just hides in the shadow. He knows Levi is very likely gonna go there because he can't really gank top lane into Akali. It's just so hard to make work. So instead he anticipates the Levi gank. He has the stronger bot lane 2v2. So they aggress without flash, which might have tipped off GAM. I think if in hindsight, GAM might have said, okay, there was a Lucian engaging on us without flash, that sounds fishy, but they didn't spot it in the moment, so they actually overcommitted to this. Very nice shutdown, and it goes over to Eddie, so now finally the Lucian a little bit ahead of the curve.
Yeah, gets him some free boots. Gets him some free boots, gets him that little bit of a tick towards that, and yeah, he's just now so far ahead of style. He's going to be doing a lot of damage. We'll probably go for that rapid fire cannon once again. Just makes a little bit of sense. Wants to stay as far away from that potential taunt range as possible. But now it's opened up the map for Suha to start making his way around. Make sure that Artifact gets to play a little bit safer. Gets to farm out his wave comfortably. But once again, we're just sort of seeing moves within these lanes. No deep vision, pure defensive wards coming out from the side of Secret. They don't want Levi or Cardi getting a nice wraparound flank onto the bot side. And the hero just sort of happily farming. He's died once, but he's still even in CS, so he's feeling pretty good.
Oh, we have a little bit of a clash here. Yeah. nothing
Carty
really
able to
coming.
outplay it.
So Marby, what do you think about Eddie in this game trying to go for an early stopwatch? I think this is one of the games where I would like to see him go for an early stopwatch around the next team fight, where, especially if he finishes his next item early, I think that could really throw spanner in the works of GAM's team fight machine, because GAM is really just focused on killing Eddie with this whole composition, right? If Eddie's able to buy time and then Artifact maybe with the Gallia ult reinforce him, they kite back and Eddie lives through the GAM engage, I think Team Secret holds all the trumps in the team fight. So he doesn't have it for this fight though, so here we go.
There's the wave coming out. They're going to follow it up with that Galio ultimate, trying to move in. Levi jumps into the backline. Can they blow up Eddie? They definitely can. And now GAM have so much of an advantage. They've taken down 3. They'll pick up the eye as well. And this is all GAM all the time. Artifact on the run, but Style just runs faster and has the friend of the Galio. Artifact desperately trying, has the heals, but doesn't quite have the damage. And Style will clean him up. It's only Zhuhao left to tell the story as GAM storm their way to a lead.
Stopwatch. I might like it there because everyone went all on top of him. And again, a beautiful hostile takeover basically muted what Team Secret wanted to do in response. So here we go. We see the tidal wave plus Galio ult engage. Hero trying to make something happen. But once everyone can just go straight onto Hero, and then these assassins cannot get onto Style at all. Carty, once he's finished his hero's entrance in, as whatever it is, the big smash thingy, he walked straight back to Style and just played defense, and it worked out beautifully because Style gets to pick up a couple of kills for himself. There was a triple for Levi, and it's just a wash.
Yeah, and it's kind of hard for me to phrase it positively. I think GAM played this as well as they could. They were very clear in their engagement. It's an easy composition to play, right? You just focus everything on the enemy ADC. He can't escape. You win the fight. Easy enough, and they did this perfectly. Also,
Penguin?
good to disengage. Penguin, why?
Has to use his stopwatch. That's a really boneheaded thing to do. And now with Levi coming in, oh no, Team Secret are just falling apart. That's a shit show.
Paranoid. I'm having so much difficulty trying to get those final kills down. Oh no.
Man, Secret might have just been broken here by GAM for the last team fight. There was so much wrong with the way they tried to team fight, and now they are 2-8 down in kills. They're already game down. Remember, they've never won a single game in playoffs against GAM, and now they do this.
Just flash. Just do the flash for the insect. Don't go for the warthog. Give time for Star to just get over the wall and to dash and ruin your entire play. Then yeah, you saw that.
Yeah, it's almost never that we actually get to see a Nocturne ult lasted. That was really, really tasty for Levi there. It's just, oh, I get to click one button and get the kill for free. Let's go. But yeah, now the game is in firm control of GAM. This is turned very one-sided. Now, 18 minutes in, GAM just looking like the better team, looking like Team Secret is a little bit tilted, and kind of understandably so, but they've maneuvered themselves into this position, so it's a disappointing position. They will get the longer break if they lose this game to maybe reset their mantle and try to come up with something, but they've been so close in these early games against GAM, they just seem to misread their own compositions, teamfight setups. Why not just try to stand on top of Eddie and disengage with the Nami? There we go again.
Turn once again going in. It is 4v3. They have the Galio ult. Renata going across the team. Doesn't do a huge amount. Team Secret trying to disengage desperately, but they just can't do it. Not without losing. Penguin Zhuhao goes down to the Winds of War as well. Eddie trying to fire back, but he just doesn't do anything. Into the back line goes Hero. He's trying to get the perfect execution, but honestly, it was mid at best. And all of Team Secret are getting cleared out. Eddie forgets to dodge the Zeri W. Goes very low, but doesn't go down. 3 for 0. And 3 for 1.
That might be a little bit of an untilted there for an artifact. That's a pretty funny kill. Maybe that actually gives them a little bit of a second wind here in the series, hopefully.
I think Carty said something rude to Style before the game, because he definitely stepped back into that so he could kill Carty. Yeah, just absolute. Yeah, all right. that was without the lockdown as well. So Kiaya is still bot lane. He's teleporting in now, and they still just put out so much damage. Not able to really get much down for the Renata roll, but the second engage from Cardi is really nice. Picks up 2, and then finally they just keep going. They just keep going. Why do you do this, hero? You can't do this. You can't go into 5 people like that.
It's certainly a little bit of tilt.
We love that.
Hero. But I mean, if you think about this team fight, right? We get to enjoy this beautiful moment again.
Yes.
Zoop.
What's up and slap?
Very nice. Also, you have to remember, Zeri actually gets auto attack damage from attack speed overload. That's a tanky Carti on the tower, but the tower is gonna go down. Carti, no.
Yeah.
Yeah, Cardi's in trouble. There is a paranoia, but it's not going to do a huge amount, especially not in the bot lane, as Levi was actually trying to scrap with Artifact. Good spell shield. He actually uses his own paranoia now. It was actually a stolen paranoia. Artifact in trouble, gets hit by the zappy laser of style, and they'll just leave it to him to clean it up. Artifact does his best with the Kingslayer, but no one kills the Queen of the Meadow.
Decent mechanics from Artifact. I think his Silas in those scrappy team fights has looked okay. It's just the overall team fighting from Team Secret falling apart, and their read on their own composition is the biggest issue. So they're trying to scrap with GAM even from behind. They're only 4k gold down, so maybe there's a tiny chance later on. I would say it's still so much easier to play GAM's composition, and GAM can just wait for dragons, wait for Team Secret to funnel into the choke points, and then attack with Nocturne, Camille, and Galio together. Remember, the last team was actually just Nocturne jumping on Nami instead of Lucian. The Camille wasn't even there. Galio ult hit nothing, and they still won the team fight decidedly. So imagine what happens when they actually pull off the combo as it is intended to be played. I'm scared for Eddie.
Hey, if you don't have that Camille to lock Lucian in place, the amount of distance he can cover with Eve Flash, it's probably almost just strictly better to go onto the Nami, because your team can actually follow up on the paranoia. So yeah, I like it. I respect it. Again, it didn't actually they just outright won, even despite the Galio ultimate doing nothing. But their Drake is going to be rising shortly. Everything's up. Pretty much everyone, yeah. All summoners, so this should be a really explosive team fight. It's potentially the last chance for Team Secret, because they're behind, they don't have a lot of damage, and a second Mountain Drake would be a lot of extra resistances they can't really cut through. And if you can get a 3 Drake Mountain Soul, yeah, then it's lights out, no hope.
I'm really not the biggest fan of stealing the hostile takeover over and over again. I think Galio ult is just better. Just counter Galio ult with Galio ult and lock the Galio down and all the engage onto Eddie. It's a pretty good counter engage, honestly. But I actually think Team Secret is in a decent spot to fight. If you look at the items, Style doesn't have a third item, so that's the weakest he's gonna be for the rest of the game. Hero, even though he's 0-3, is on 1.5 items, but they are not really trying to get in here. Now they're slowly streaming down the river. Let's see.
This is when this hostile takeover could get some value as he throws it over. The paranoia comes out. Dragon has been secured. Decent wave from Zhuhao, but I think it's too little too late, as there's just absolutely no damage. Garma just being chilling in this fight as Artifact dives into the back line trying to get something, but B will get revived by the bailout. And Zhuhao, once again, the only one left. And I think Team Secret are lucky that VCS like these 20-minute breaks when someone goes to match point.
Damage. Said it. They didn't have damage for the second Mountain Soul and Mountain Drake, and yeah, they only really got B down to no health and bailout. So Baron, hooray.
So because this game is honestly just over, let's try to think a little bit about the next one. I think Team Secret, what they have shown us in playoffs is that they were able to come back. Yeah, I mean, this is really just a case of wear damage, so not really much to talk about. It's Team Secret placed this as well as they could. The disengage is honestly pretty decent. I really don't like the hostile takeover still, because it doesn't deal any damage. You kind of need damage from the Silas, because otherwise this is going to happen where GAM can just scrap forever, just use their melee gems, multiple rotations of auto attacks and spells, and no one dies. But in the end, the game is now in an almost unsalvageable state, and I think Team Secret has to go back to the drawing board, come up with a different strategy. They've done this. They've turned over their initial players' preparation against SGB completely in their series against SBTC. They came up in the first game with 4 different picks that they had never played before in any of the SGB games, so I think they can do it. They can reset and maybe find another approach. Lucian Army 2 games in a row.
Hero trying to find his way onto the back line, and he's gone. Truly the ninja with the disappearing act as Levi throws himself onto the backside, has a Galio ult to back him up. Kiaya, keeping said that was actually a stolen Galio ult. I tell a lie. As it is just Artifact in the middle of the enemy team, taken down, and I think we call that a professional FF, as I think GAM might just walk in and win the game here at 26 minutes.
You can't even kill the Nocturne. And Nocturne's not he's built mostly tank Strikebreaker into tank stats, but still not a tanky character by any means, and he's just sitting there and fighting and can't die.
Galio is doing more damage than your Silas and your Lucian combined.
Yeah. Galio do be slapping. Galio do be slapping. He has items for starter. That's a significant advantage he does have.
It's a little bit of a depressing watch, and the Akali in top lane hasn't really done anything, hasn't accomplished anything. I think he tried to channel his inner Enper. His Enper in one of the games against GAM was actually very successful in locking down Styles Zeri in the team fights. They didn't win the game, but at least they killed Style over and over again. He tried. There are not many nice words to find for Hero's performance so far in this game, unfortunately. But I think he has to go back to his... I think his Camille in game 1 was actually quite good, so not really sure why he tried to go Akali here. He probably needs to go back to one of his melee gems, maybe even some of his AP gems from before, because it's last chance saloon in the next game for Secret, as this one is well and truly over in favor of GAM.
Master Vladimir. No, I'm not going to say the Vladimir, but I do want to see the scoreboard, because I feel like Hero has... it feels like they haven't gotten a kill for so long, it feels like, for Team Secret, and that would mean Hero is sitting there on a very much a 0x0 scoreline. That's what I feel is the situation right now. And
I think if this was solo queue, he would currently have 6 tier of the Goddesses, I'm just saying. As Hero is once again going to dive in. This time he gets out with his life, but wow, that was a whole lot of ultimates to deal about 200 damage.
Lot of waves. Whee!
Yeah.
Back and forth.
Ooh, combos.
Really pretty light show. So dead inhibitor. That's 2. 1 left for GAM. A Mountain Soul on the board as well in 30 seconds. So they're taking it slow. They're really dragging it out. But yeah, should be all good for GAM.
This is new GAM, right?
Hurry up.
This is the GAM we have come to know in this season, especially this summer. In spring, a little bit already, but especially this summer, they've slowed down all their late games. They are not as explosive anymore in terms of closing. They're playing it safe, and honestly, you can't really fault them. It's the elimination match. Whoever loses today is out for playoffs, but more importantly for Worlds contention. So they need to not make a mistake here, but it just looks unlosable from this situation. No one deals any damage from the side of Secret. Maybe Penguin can steal here. That's the only hope, but nope.
No, that is going to be Mountain Soul secured. Hero in the middle of the team. Once again, there's a paranoia, and in goes Levi. Ooh. Oh my word. Look at the damage coming out of GAM. Zeri picks up that kill. They will be able to get a second as well. Style on a bit of a roll as he wants to move forward. Kiaya picking up the third, TPing to the top side. And GAM are just going to win the game. He's walking the minions in, so they have 2 waves. It makes sense. And look, it's all over but the crying, and GAM will take themselves up to a 2-0 lead. Team Secret will have the extended break to rest, reflect, and re-educate themselves, because so far it has not been good enough. Game 1 was a heartbreaking loss. Game 2 was a stomp. And GAM